Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Export Lounge, your inside look at the American playing overseas football. Brad Jones is still in the co-host chair right here, along with Gabe Quigley, our creative director. With us today, the man. Our guest is someone who went to Italy as a defensive back wide receiver, ended up playing quarterback throughout the entire thing and leading the league in interceptions. Their defensive player of the year, our import of the year, Italian league football stud, Cam Grodhaus. Welcome to the show, buddy. Very happy you're here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, he picked coffee today. And since he was in Italy, I threw in an extra shot of espresso, so I might be a little bit more amped up than usual.
Went to double rod as well.
There you go.
I'm on my second cup in like 2 hours, so we're good.
I also appreciate the hell out of you for throwing up your jersey in the background. Making
I got
it look a little bit more.
It's a little something for you. I take
Attaboy.
notes, Chase. I take directive well.
Well, Cam, thanks for coming on, man. For those who don't know, just go ahead and dive into yourself. Started out at Davenport, and I'm pretty sure Lake Erie before that. Just walk through how you got over to the Ancona Dolphins.
Yeah, so, I mean, really just my college experience. I felt like I was a little under-recruited out of high school. So, ended up taking a scholarship offer to go to Lake Erie College. I always knew when I got there that I wanted to try to go play at a different school, somewhere like a little bit higher level. Ended up getting to Davenport for my senior year, and really had a great year. Enjoyed my time there. And then
really quick, is Lake Erie a different division than D2? I'm not familiar.
No, still D2, different conference.
Okay.
So
and then Davenport's pretty new, right?
Davenport just became a football program in 2016, so like 10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years. Wow.
Yeah. But they play in the GLIAC, so really good conference, play a lot of high-level players. I mean, there's over 10 dudes that I played against that played FBS or are playing FBS football right now.
What was that last year that you played there, just out of curiosity?
My last year there was 2024 fall season. So really,
sorry to cut you off there. I was just curious.
No, you're good. After that, I did the whole like pro day process, pre-draft process, and had a pro day at the GLIAC Pro Day in Grand Valley. So I tasted like the whole, like over here, playing over in the States thing for a year. After the draft process, didn't get a call. Went to like a UFL showcase.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really hear nothing after that. I didn't really like that experience at all.
Why not? What's a UFO draft process like? So is it just like your typical camp, like where you run 40s and the L drill? And
basically they just have you pay to go to like some city and do like combine almost, do like the same thing you do at your pro day. And I don't know, I feel like it wasn't really a great opportunity. I don't think they really took the whole thing serious.
Money grab.
Yeah. So after that, the Dolphins actually reached back out to me because they reached out to me right after my college season. And I told them like I had a pro day set up and I really wanted to like try my shot over here. And like props to them and Laura Sequani, their scouting director, for keeping in touch with me and reaching back out. Because after the whole UFL thing went through, I was like, I really just want to play ball. So as soon as he reached back out to me, I thought it was like a sign from God. So I was like, all right, I'll come over now. And it all worked out. Yeah.
Did you take any ganders at Indoor Football League?
I had some offers to go play in the Indoor Football League, but I that's not where I didn't want to do that at all.
It's a completely different sport.
Yeah. I got some buddies that are playing there right now that are actually doing really well. It looks like a really good time, but for me in the indoor league, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Shit, playing quarterback then, maybe.
Yeah, quarterback looks fun though in that league.
It is. I haven't heard any of the stories that I have in past years about organizational and all the issues behind the scenes that those leagues have had. So I think it's been pretty well ran.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you ever entered that circuit before you came overseas. But
I talked to some teams, but
yeah. Who, by chance? Anybody?
I talked to the team that's like near Kansas City. I forget what the name of the team was. Iowa Barnstormers wanted me to come
Barnstormers?
in the middle of the season.
Kurt Warner.
What was the turnoff? Like the rules or just like the arena around or just
just
like the
playing
Canadian rules?
indoors with the walls. I just didn't see myself doing it. I don't know why. But I mean, the money was around the same. I don't know. I just, something about it. I just don't want to. I knew people that went into the indoor league that never made it out and they were playing super well. So I'm like, if you're playing that well, like, I feel like you should get a chance to do, like, to step up to the next level. And I haven't seen anybody do it that I know personally. So that kind of turned me away from it as well.
Yeah, I
Could
feel
be
like
just
what
'cause
I've
it's a
seen.
different sport.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Quigs. Sorry.
It could just be because it's quite literally a different sport from regular Lebanon.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
doesn't translate as much.
I've heard like the translation's really good for like CFO, just because the guy's running forward at you like before the snap. But
Yeah, that
I
makes
don't know.
sense.
Oh, I feel like he said nobody ever makes it out of the IFL. I feel like making it out of the IFL, from what I've seen, AFL, IFL, arena
Yeah.
or indoor, it doesn't matter, is to go overseas. It's either the LFA or you go to Europe or you go, I mean, not usually Japan.
Yeah.
By the way, the Yap session that we posted yesterday, Brad and Quigs,
Yeah,
I was completely dead wrong on the Japanese
I saw
rundown.
that comment on the
I saw
YouTube.
correct,
Yeah.
Shout out Insider Sports Japan. They did not like that. They were nice about it, but I've got a lot of things to fix. So hopefully we get to that in this one. If not, I'll do it in our next Yap session. But Insider Sports Japan, my bad. They've been great over there to us. But anyway, back to Cam. So were you listed as a defensive back or a wide receiver when you came to Ancona? I know you played defense in college, but were you both when you came to Italy?
So the plan was always for me to play receiver as well as DB. Obviously, I got signed as a defensive back to play safety. But the text leading up to me coming over to Italy was to play both ways. But yeah, I expected to play receiver the whole time, not quarterback for sure.
Let's go ahead and jump into that, since that's probably what most of the people listening to this are going to want to hear. You come in, and I think I asked you about it via DM, just like a quick rundown of what actually happened.
Yeah.
It was Carter Cravens, correct, as the quarterback?
Yep.
Was this after week 1 that he got hurt? Just tell us the situation. And like, was there panic? Were you like, oh shit, I got to go play quarterback?
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of panic. So after week 2, actually, we played Parma. We were in practice the next week, and Carter had tweaked his hamstring, and we didn't know how bad it was at first. We thought like we had like the week off, I'm pretty sure, and we figured like maybe he'll be okay. He ended up getting it checked out, and it was a little bit worse than what we thought. And we were kind of scrambling, and we had a guy that was our backup quarterback. He was actually a receiver from Bergamo, Giovanni Zani. He was going through practice, and then they just wanted to see another look, so they threw me back there. I mean, I never played quarterback, not even in high school. That was a lot of the questions that I got too. Like, oh, you were a quarterback in high school, and I was like, no, I wasn't a quarterback in high school. So I went back there one practice and had a good practice, just running around and throwing the ball down the field. And they're like, all right, we're not going to bring in another quarterback. Cam, we believe in you, and we're just going to run with it. And then I think we played the Marines the first game that I played quarterback, and I had a really, really good game. So
was that the game, since you're on it, I think I had a note in here. It was 130, 2 tutters, like 250 on the ground.
Yeah.
3 on the ground, and then you also had a pick.
Yep. Yeah,
how the hell did we miss that guy for import of the week there, Quigs?
Hey, you're the one sending me the intel.
Yeah.
I think the feeder was off.
I got to do everything. No, I'm playing.
That was the first game.
Walking into it, I think I can speak for all 3 of us who have played quarterback for the majority of our careers. Like, that's a very different mentally prepped position aside from a defensive back, as far as I always felt coming into a game where I'm calm, cool, like everybody's hoopla and like jumping around and all this stuff, but I feel like you've always got eyes on you as a QB, and the more level I came into a game, the better prepared I felt. Did you switch up coming into games as a quarterback versus a DB, or were you always just like a rah-rah, let's go kill somebody?
That is a really, really good like observation of the position because it was definitely different. Definitely different. Like before the games, like Parma and Jaguari, like I'm headbutting people and this and that. When I'm playing quarterback, I'm like, nobody touch my head. Like, I gotta be ready to go. So, and it's just the way you carry yourself is just different. Like you said, you got a lot of eyes on you. You want to make sure everybody feels really good about the game. And I feel like you have to just carry a different mentality as a quarterback.
100%.
And you could feel it. Like I could feel myself before the game. I'm like, man, I just want to jump and hit people. But I'm quarterback right now, so I got to be careful.
Was
Quigs, did you have any similar feelings as a former quarterback turned receiver / tight end?
I mean, yeah, the preparation was definitely different for quarterback. Like those days, I was more to myself, more like poised, because like what he's saying, you're trying to ease those around you and make those confident and try to boost the confidence. But like playing receiver or some other position like tight end, like you're trying to get jacked. You're trying to you're not trying to think too much. You're just trying to get let loose and trying to freaking ball out. Like you're trying to get in that zone. And definitely the leading up preparation. There's much more that goes in the quarterback, I'd say, than receiver than or tight end because you're just trying to get in that killer mindset, like he was saying, when you're playing more physical position.
as a safety, just to get into the on-field type stuff, I always thought safety was somewhat of a quarterback of the defense, because you read everything. You're looking at the offense. You know what's going on in front of you as a defensive player too. Did that help you with the transition since you've obviously never played quarterback before? Did that help you understand defenses or understand like, oh, this is the call we're running on offense? I know as a safety what I would do here. Did that help you in that transition at all?
Yeah, for sure. Really just a lot of the pre-play stuff. You see a safety rolling down or you see his feet are shifted a different way, you know which way he's going to open up. So that was really always my first read as a quarterback. Just look at
Rightfully so.
the strong side safety and see what he's wanting to do before the snap. Um, I always thought that playing safety, because I was a receiver in high school, playing safety, I always got a good read off of routes and route concepts because I had a good understanding for that. So football is just a big chess game. And once you understand one piece and get a feel for the next piece, I feel like you could play any position after that.
I think it's funny. I had a really good example of it. I went and watched DePaul play Wheaton last year in the playoffs. A couple of Division III clubs, if nobody's familiar. And I'm sitting there in front of a couple of guys who I know played football at some extent, but maybe not at college or any kind of high level.
Yeah.
And DePaul threw like some bomb off of a play action. It was like against a quarters look. We got a post over the top, something along those lines. And the people behind us are like, well, why the fuck haven't we ran that the whole game? Why did we just pull this out just now? And it's like, well, it is a chess match. We established a run and we were running GH counter to the boundary to try and get that safety to come down. And then he finally did. And now we can go over the top. It's just the chess analogy. Big fan. Probably going to be clipped there, Cam.
Yeah.
Man, that was my next question, Brad. I love having you on here, dude.
Knack for it. We got a great
Great
knack
minds,
for it.
buddy.
I got another one if you want me to keep going. So
Absolutely, I do. I was gonna just let him start bragging on himself, but keep asking questions.
As the safety on that defense and the import, that you're obviously looked at as like a leader of the team, right? You're looked at as one of those guys. Would you say the leadership standpoint as a defensive player and as a quarterback is different? Like how you control the huddle, how you control your teammates, because obviously, like we said, on defense, you're bashing heads. You're just trying to amp the guys up. When you take the role of a quarterback, and the three of us know it from experiences, you have to be that calming presence or the one that says, hey, we're good. We got this. Here's what the plan is. What was that like for you? And with guys you clearly didn't plan on playing with as a leader of the system, right? And they're also Italian. And it's no slight to them, but they're not from America where you can say, okay, we all kind of get it. What was that like for you having to become the guy on offense and defense, so to say?
Well, I mean, defensively, and actually Ancona has they have a really good feel for American football. Like they're core guys, they're Italian guys. I mean, they all speak English. They all understand American football. So game planning throughout the week with them was really easy, especially like the starters. They would come over to the house, and I mean, we would break down film and get a good game plan together, and it was really easy for them to understand. But that was a lot more raw. Like those film sessions were really high tempo, high energy, and then to switch to the offensive side, it was just it was like I was a different person kind of thing. Just take on a completely different role, completely different energy. And even during the game, like we would go out on offense, I'd be super calm and chill, like collected. And then we go out on defense. I'm like yelling at the guys, like, let's go. Like,
This dude couldn't wait
yeah,
to just throw his head into somebody.
yeah. I was just ready to hit somebody. Like, we would have an offensive drive, and I don't know, we would get a score, and everybody's like happy. And then the next play on defense, I'm trying to like kill someone. So it was fun to like go through the game. It felt like being in high
Right.
school again.
A true Jekyll
Yeah.
and Hyde.
Correct. Here comes the helicopter again,
In
Brad.
high school, I saw that you led your school for all receiving and total yards as a running back and receiver. So how did you find yourself playing defense in college after having such a successful high school career?
I didn't know that. Nice quakes.
I had the like aspirations to go and play receiver in college. So I got signed as a athlete. And so I've heard
Classic.
now if you go as an athlete to college, you're gonna get switched to defense. So I didn't know that going in. I thought I was gonna
You
get
got
a chance.
bamboozled.
I thought I was gonna get a chance. So when I went, I actually was doing a little bit of both, and I had to learn both playbooks my freshman year of college. And I was actually doing really well at receiver, and I thought I was going to have a chance to stay on the offensive side of the ball. But I had a more like early transition to play on defense. Like I was in the two deep my first spring. So they were like, hey, you should probably just focus on defense. You got a really good chance to play early. So I did it. I just wanted to play and stuck with defense. So that's kind of how that kind of worked out.
Makes sense.
We're talking a lot about the shift in mindset between offense, defense as a safety versus a quarterback. But let's not pretend like you were Tom Brady back there. I would say you were more toting the rock and running through people's faces
For sure.
than anything. And we had mentioned the Lazio game. Was that the 99-yard rushing touchdown game?
That was the Rhinos game.
Okay.
The 99-yard touchdown.
So just running through people's faces, particularly on that 99-yard run, where would that fit into your season highlight? Like, would you rank that as like your top 5, 3, 1 play?
I would say that was definitely a top 3 play for sure because we go out there and my coach, the offensive coordinator, he's like, because Val actually got a pick the play before, and he's like 5 yards in the end zone, falls down, and they spot us on the 1-yard line.
Correct.
We're like, what is going on? So our offensive coordinator, we're going out to the 20. We have a different play because we're like, oh, I think we're going to pass it. And then they spot us back on the 1, and he's like, all right, come back. He's like, all right, we're just going to run it, try to get some space, Cam. Like, just try to get out of the end zone. I'm like, all right. And I get the ball, and I'm running, and I break a tackle, and I'm like, oh, shoot. I think it was the other import. He was the first one to try to tackle me, and after I broke that tackle, I'm like, all right, we got space out here. And then I ended up scoring, and I come back to the sideline. He's like, all right, that works too. Get us some
Much
space.
space as humanly
just
possible.
like I drew it up. Yeah, no kidding. So we're talking about performances, and we talked about the college receiver days, or the high school receiver days, rather, came into college. You had one game where you did get to play receiver, correct? And you
in
1 or 2
in
it was
Italy.
early.
Italy. Yep. Yeah, our second game, I got to play receiver.
Like 100 plus and a tutter.
I think I had 185 and 2 touchdowns. Yep.
Not too shabby.
I tried to sell him short there. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, dude, you had it was a crazy season. I feel like you were playing 19 different positions,
Yeah.
and it was kind of cool to see when we were going back through all the just the statistics throughout the year and where you ended up in each statistical category was like, talk about a Swiss Army knife. I really don't know another analogy to use.
Because honestly, I thought just watching the league from the outside, I thought Greenfield was going to be the import for what we were going to select the most valuable import, just because we were seeing him every week having like 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns. And then I saw the poll that you were winning, and I saw your stat line. I was like, how the heck did you pull this off? Like I thought Greenfield had it, and then you just come out with a whole nother mile ahead.
This is before
was-
Brad came around, and really quick, I was talking to Quiggs. It was just him and I at that point. Zonka's involved too, but kind of he's doing the grown-up thing, fire department, all that stuff. And I'm telling him, hey, I think I'm going to do like this poll just to see where everyone thinks it's at. And he said, it's obviously Greenfield, right? And I said, well, let me just send you all this guy's stuff really quick. And he said, holy shit. And I did kind of want to ask this, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first most valuable import award winner that's on the show. And if you don't know what that is, basically we're picking the best American import for each league that are in the major leagues. So we'll have the GFLs, the Maple Leagues. I doubt we'll do AFLE, EFA. No offense, we respect you, but
yeah, I do.
but like it's not
I'm
the
not in that
same.
grouping.
And it's a first time, and you were our second overall with Connor Miller, with France. Let me just ask this, and I don't need you to brag. Don't sugarcoat it. But does having that award mean something different than the defensive player of the year from the league? Having like a community based and like people who actually know what's going on versus a league. How's that different? Was it still valuable to you? Is what we're doing stupid? Just kind of want to know what your thoughts are.
I think what you guys are doing is awesome. Like I think I expressed like the gratitude in the DMs, but any chance that players get to, receive some credibility from guys that actually know what's going on throughout the leagues. I mean, for me, my first year over here, that was a huge blessing. Like I was really grateful for you guys to take the time to do that, because I mean, you don't have to do that. You guys don't have to do this. So for us, I think it's awesome. Even like the exposure that we get from the platform is really nice. So I mean, I would put them hand in hand, the defensive player of the year and the import of the year. I mean, that's really, really special, honestly, for me. I don't know how the other guys feel, but
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's one of the big things that we're trying to do is to think from the outside looking in. If you're somebody who doesn't know what's going on, it's like, well, this guy's just kind of playing, and Europe's really not that serious about American football. And somebody who's never, been in the shit to say is like, it's hard being over there and trying to maneuver through all this and to perform well and juggle all of these new experiences, especially as a first year Cam, with all of this stuff being thrown at you. And then, yeah, I mean, we just want to give these guys their flowers. You know what I mean? That's a big part of what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's why we have guests like you on, so you can tell your story.
Dude, yeah, this is awesome. And I mean, I told you before, but like you guys' coverage and stuff does not go unnoticed, and the guys definitely appreciate the stuff that you guys put out.
Right on. Well, we appreciate them.
Yeah.
Is there anything we're missing, or any tips you could just throw out that you think that we
give
should?
some feedback.
I mean, like I said, this is my first year over here, so what you guys are doing is really, I mean, I don't want to keep, putting you guys, like, giving you guys, like, you don't need to make anything better, but.
Speaking of your first year.
I mean, you guys are killing it, for sure.
Speaking of your first year, do you have an idea of what your second year will look like yet, or a concept of a plan?
Yeah, so right now, I've definitely been working on a contract to come back with Ancona. I think right after the season, they kind of just came with like a new contract, and we've just been talking through it, trying to get that situation figured out. I've been hearing I had a couple other teams from different leagues want me to play right away, as their season's still going on, but for me, I was a little banged up at the end of the year, so trying to just get healthy and just been in the gym trying to get ready for next season.
Yeah, I was going to ask how that body's feeling after that kind of season, both ways, all the time. I mean, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, my body held up really, really well all the way through the regular season. I think the last game against the Rhinos, I dove for an interception and hit my knee off the turf really hard. So it was
I
like
saw that was wrapped up in the playoffs.
it was no issue. The Rhinos game, didn't feel it at all the rest of the game because it happened pretty early. After the game, I take my stuff off to go shower. Man, my knee is like a bowling ball. And I'm like,
Swollen.
this ain't good. So we had 2 weeks before we played the Frogs, week 1 of the playoffs. I really didn't practice at all. I just stayed off of it. I went to the physio every day, and then I don't know why I didn't wrap it up or put anything on it. I felt like I was good to go.
He said,
Made a tackle in the game and bruised it or it re-inflamed. Came out for a couple of drives and then went back in. And then the Guelphy game, I was probably 60%, 70%.
It's impressive it lasted that
Yeah.
long.
well, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. I did want to go through the playoffs. I think the regular season kind of speaks for itself. And it's just it's weird going through a regular season over with American football in some of these leagues. Some teams are really banged up and you don't see their best. Some teams take weeks off and it's just the nature of what it is over there. I do want to talk about the playoffs though, because that's when everybody straps in and it's ready to go. How was that first matchup in the playoffs against Legnano? You'd already seen him that year. And I think I noticed Luke Caliendo, their receiver, was also playing both ways. Just talk about that duel, since you probably had to see him quite a bit that day.
Yeah.
Talk about him and just talk about that game, and then we'll move on to Friends.
Yeah, Luke's a great dude and great player. We actually
he's
had a
really
good conversation after that playoff game about our whole experience. Even Josh too, their quarterback. The first game we played them, we had Henry. So we had me
Henry
and him.
Blackburn.
Yeah, we had me and him both playing safety. So it was really, really nice. That dynamic's really good to have on the field once you get 2 guys and you can kind of spread the field out. Like even that game, I did a little bit of traveling with Luke to try to take that away. But once you get on one side of the field and you get the import on the other side of the field, you can kind of play with your alignment and the motions and getting the ball a little bit easier. But I mean, those guys are a great team, and we kind of had a good game plan for them defensively to kind of take him away. So once we got going offensively and Carter had a really good game, we knew that we could hold them off well enough to where we would come out of that game with the win.
You mentioned Henry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about him actually just for a second, since he brought him up.
Yeah.
Henry Blackburn, if you guys don't remember, Colorado versus Colorado State. Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders talking all this stuff before the game. There's kind of a huge rivalry between those two schools here in the States. He was the one that absolutely leveled Travis Hunter on the sidelines, was he not? Does that follow him out of curiosity?
Yeah.
Does he get a little bit of shit for that?
Yeah, he definitely gets some shit for that, but I think people still DM him to this day about that.
Crazy. I'm not one of those people who's hating on him. I just was I saw number 11 when I saw Kona signed him. I swear I've seen that dude somewhere before. Henry Blackburn. That's the first thing that pops up online. But you said that's when he was there. Did he end up leaving at some point during the season? I must have missed that.
Oh no. He was just injured. He just had an injury. Yeah.
Was he out the entire year after that?
I think the first Frogs game was the game that he got hurt. So he missed 4 games after that, I think. We didn't know that we were going to get him back in this season at all. And then he ended up playing the Guelphy game, the playoff game. So that was his first game back since we played the Frogs the first time. And then I think he played the first game of the year against Jaguari, ended up getting a bad infection on his leg from that game, which I had the same thing on my arm because if you remember that game, it was complete mud bowl.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
How was that to play in?
The worst experience of my football career. The worst conditions I ever played in. And I'm from Ohio.
I'm going to pull up a picture.
So, we get some bad conditions. But So I ended up getting an infection on my arm, which I was fine because I could still run and everything, but he couldn't run. It was on the back pocket of his knee, so he couldn't even bend his leg. Still has the craziest scar to this day.
Was it
from
like
that
MRSA
game.
or staph or something?
It was like a gangrene, like it was green. It was bad. It was bad. So he ended up missing, I think, the Parma game, and then came back for Bologna. Or no, Marines maybe. He played like Marines, Bologna, and then Frogs, and then he got hurt the Frogs game, and then missed the rest of the regular season and the first playoff game. But like I was saying, the dynamic with two import safeties, it makes it really, really nice on the defense to not have to move, and the other team's quarterback can't target the other side of the field that the import's not on. So really helped that dynamic. And then we had the Rotelli brothers at corner, so it was a really good secondary.
Really good defensive backfield. Yeah, 100%. Got a couple of that helicopter is something else, man. I edited it out quick. You said the Lazio Marines. They used to be the Lazio Ducks, and I wish they would go back to the Ducks. I'm going to be honest with you. Just a quick little tidbit there. But for those who do not know, since we're on Blackburn, Italy has this kind of rule, as does France, and I think another couple of countries. Brad, I want you to kind of speak on this as well. But he comes with an Italian passport, which means he's classified on the roster differently than you are. Cam, go ahead and tell somebody about what that means, if you know. If not, I'll fill in for you. But what that is and why he was able to come in without taking out an import position.
Yeah, so basically every team in the Italian league gets 2 American imports. So every roster is going to have 2 imports on it that are American players. And then if you can find one, you can also get the dual passport player. So they have to have Italian citizenship as well as that American citizenship. So or it could be an Italian German or an Italian Brazilian or something like that. Just they have to have that Italian citizenship as well as their other citizenship. So our scouting director, again, kudos to him. He reached out to Henry and didn't even know that he had that Italian citizenship at first. So once he told him that, it's like a light goes off in your head, like jackpot, because nobody knows
Dear diary.
Nobody knows Blackburn's in Italian, So
certainly doesn't scream it.
They got him
that name.
They got him over there, and it's like, I mean, that's like a cheat code. He's an American grown, born player that has roots in Italy. His grandma actually kept up with his passport and got him citizenship young. Like I think he told me when he was 10. I mean, he's just a stud. So you get him as your dual import player. It's basically just another import.
Correct.
What a cheat code.
Is that anywhere else, Brad? Other than France?
Well, I know a lot of teams if you have any other European passport, you can take off your A. So like in Germany specifically, if you are I remember playing against a kid in Poland. He had Joey Bradley was a quarterback. He's a journeyman too. He had an Irish passport. So his Irish passport took precedence over his American, and it didn't count as an American, so they would load up on extra guys. So I think most leagues will allow you to use your international before your American, and you can cheat the system pretty well.
For our league, it was like you still had your A though. Like you still had that A on your helmet, and you could only have 2 on the field at one time.
Oh, okay.
So even if it's an American and a dual citizen, they still are on the. Okay, got it. That's just who you can have on your roster.
Okay.
Yeah, you get to add the guy to your roster, but he still counts as an American. Like for our case, so like we couldn't have, even though we only played 1 game together, the 3 of us, we couldn't have Carter at quarterback and then me and Henry at both 1 receivers.
Gotcha.
Like we couldn't do that. Like it wasn't like legal for the league.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what Frankie Stola had an A on his hat for.
Yep.
So let me ask this as an exported athletes group, and Cam, who's a MVI, should we allow
mute Quiggs?
Mute yourself, Quiggs. He's pissed. Should we allow the dual? We have to. I mean, this is my view, but like, is there any? Because Frankie Stola, Ethan Greenfield, Cam Grodhaus. Am I saying that correctly, by the way?
Yeah, Cam Grodhaus. Yep.
Okay. Should we allow those dual citizens still to be considered in the MVI because they have? I feel like the A on the helmet is the dictator. Like if they have that or
Yeah,
not.
I think
Thoughts,
so.
Quigs?
I think so.
Okay.
I think, especially like Frankie and Henry's case, like they're American guys. They played college football in America. Like I feel like
Passport else.
yeah, it
Oh,
could be
okay.
anything else. I think Bologna had a
Okay.
German duel. So yeah, you can pull from other
'Cause I
countries
think
too, but they have to have that Italian
right,
citizenship.
but they have to have Italy as one of them, right? No matter what. See, that
Yep.
I
Yep.
like, whereas here or in other places, you could be American and have an Irish passport, have nothing to do with Germany, you still don't count as an extra guy. The Italian one, that's different for me. Like, I've never heard that you have to have at least the Italian regardless of the other one, which I think is pretty cool. I think that would be I would kinda
Yeah.
like that more just because it does kind of put a little bit more on the nationality factor of it, not just skirting the system, you know?
Well, I actually got some really good insider information on the reason for that as well. Um, so I think they started it in 2009 like that. You had to have that Italian citizenship to be the dual, and it's for the national team purpose behind it. So you get that dual citizenship and you're Italian. So once you have that, you're qualified for the national team. So you can play
Oh,
national tackle, and then the now national flag team, like Henry he's doing the camps right now for the Italian national flag football team that's going to play at the Worlds in August in Dusseldorf, I think. Is that so? So once you get that import player over there, that's a dual citizenship to play in the IFL to play the tackle. I mean, right after the season, the national team is going to be on you about playing for the national team.
that is
And I'd
sick.
imagine they got their eyes towards the Olympics as well for that.
Yeah.
With that,
So,
yeah,
That's smart.
that's really cool.
yeah.
Talk about a story for Henry if he goes over there and he just ends up playing in the first ever Olympics
Yep.
just because he
Right.
went to Ancona.
Yep. Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. I think it's a really, really, really good opportunity for him.
Even just the experience, even if it doesn't like pan out to anything, just being able to say that I was over here competing on a world's camp and then potentially going to the Olympics. Like,
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quigs, how you doing over there? Your helicopter has vacated, buddy. I appreciate that.
That's
about
what I was
you.
about to ask. I couldn't tell. I was seeing blue lines every other second. I'm like, I turned both my
think
fans
it might
off.
be your
I
headphones.
don't know what else it could be.
'Cause
Better not be. These are my
your
AirPod Pros.
your
These are my
volume's also
babies.
like 10 times higher than the other two guys too.
It is.
Maybe they're just too good.
It's fine. Again, Riverside, shout out you guys. This is an unbelievable platform. But to kind of segue into our next thing, if you're an import watching this and potentially going over and you do have an Italian American passport, Italian United States, I believe, is different than American, like Canada, Mexico, or French American, definitely start reaching out to those teams and let them know that you're out there because, like Cam said, that's what they're looking for. That's what they want to fill their positions with. Cam, let's switch away. Oh, let's continue going through our playoffs. We talked about the Legnano game. You guys got that win there.
Yep.
How did it feel going into Firenze after knowing that they kind of had the crown in Italy? Not that they were going to win the championship, but you knew that that was the top dog to knock off.
Yeah.
How was that going into that semifinal? Just talk to me about that game.
Yeah. So leading into that game, after we played the Frogs, I mean, we knew that once we won against the Frogs, we were going to have to go back to Florence. I think we had a completely different mentality going into that semifinal game than the first time we played them. The first time we had a lot of injuries. I think I was the only American that played the first game. So, I mean, we had really high hopes to go knock them off and, go to the Italian championship. But I mean, just how the game played out. I think we fumbled the opening kickoff and gave them possession on like the 20-yard line. And then knowing that they were going to get the ball at halftime as well. I don't know. I think that first start to the game kind of took a lot of momentum away from us, and we never really bounced back from it. So it was a hard hard game to go through because we had such we just felt like we were supposed to win that game. And I mean, obviously we didn't win that game, so it was kind of like a gut-wrenching feeling going through that game and just how it was playing out, and there was really nothing that we could do to get that momentum back. And then Carter went down right before halftime, and that was just another thing to add on top of the bad momentum.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to win that game without your quarterback having you out there with him
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
down,
Yeah, and then
giving them an extra possession.
I was already a little banged up, so I was kinda limited as well, and then, yeah, it was just bad.
Yeah. All right. So, sorry I brought it up, man.
Chase loves doing
Negative,
that on
yeah.
these interviews. He loves pouring salt in the wounds,
Bring it
man. He
back
got me. He
back.
got
But, the people want to hear about
Yeah, yeah.
part
the
of it.
bad
It's all
stuff
part of the
too.
It
game.
And
brings
it's a big part of it.
brings the extra motivation to wanna come back to Italy and, get that rematch back.
Yeah. Well, we talked about game planning for Josh and Luke. You had a game plan for Femiani and arguably the best receiver core that
Yeah.
I've seen over there, to be honest with you, at least in Italy with Stola and Salim. Like, what was that like as a defensive back, being like, hey, we've got two vertical threats that can do, and you have to account for an extra man in the run game with
Yeah,
Femiani.
100%. I mean, that was definitely the hardest game to game plan for. They do such a good job spreading out the field. They'll line the receivers up completely on
bunch
the
'em, right?
sideline. So
Yeah.
when you're playing safety and you're trying to split the seams, I mean, you're all the way out of the box. So you can't be added into the run fit like you're saying. So we got some ideas for what we want to do the next time we play them. Like we've already been thinking about that, but um, they just do such a good job of spreading out the field. Whenever you think they're going to throw it, the quarterback will keep it and run. And then whenever you think he's going to keep it and run, he'll sling it out to the sideline. And those receivers, especially 11, he's really good in space. 2's a really
Yeah.
good vertical threat.
Mhm.
He's really good at the catch point. But 11's really shifty, and he can get going. So they're a
Yeah.
really
And,
good team.
and he's been over there for at least a couple of years with
Yeah,
Ferenz. So
that's what I heard. He played quarterback before
mhm.
that. So I mean, he's a really good football player. He's a good DB too.
I probably need to get him on here as well. That dude's really good at the football, and he's probably got some nice little insight on being a part of the Ferenz organization. But we'll move on from that. Overall, you had a great season. I'm sure we'll still talk about it a little bit as we continue to go through here. But let's go outside of the locker room and off the field. Had you ever been to Italy before? It's a completely different world over there from the United States. In certain locations, obviously, they Americanize some really big cities. But you're in Ancona. Talk to me about the food, the culture, pace of life. Like, what was your day outside of football like while living in Italy? Make some people jealous listening to this.
Yeah. Um, I mean, the day outside of football in Italy is, I mean, incredible, especially where the location in Ancona. It's not very touristy. A lot of people don't know about Ancona if you've never been to Italy. Even if you do go to Italy, sometimes you'll never hear about
Oh,
Ancona.
they'll never go to Ancona. They're going to go
Yeah.
to Rome and Venice. And
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The bigger, more hyped up cities. But I just enjoyed my time so much in Ancona. The pace of life is just reeled back from American life. I mean, everybody's just going to the beach, staying out late for late dinners, drinks. Really, our off days, we were going to the gym, going straight to the beach, and just relaxing all day. And then if we were traveling, we would go to some of the bigger cities, check them out, stay there for a couple of days, and then come back. I mean, we practiced 3 days a week, so we didn't have a whole bunch of time to travel because we had to be back for Monday's practice. But um, I mean, we had a lot of really good opportunities to stay in some cities and just venture throughout the country. And then when we did have those bye weeks, we would travel. I think we went to Naples. We went up to Lake Como, did some really cool trips for a couple of days. But I
what'd you
mean,
think of Naples?
Naples was a jungle, dude. It was probably the food was really, really good. Um, Naples
It's crazy
pizza,
over there.
yeah,
It's
Naples pizza was really, really good, but we didn't have any of our Italian players come with us for that trip, so it was just us, it
Mm.
was just 3 Americans. So we had no idea where to go or what to do. So we're walking around Naples, and it's just like New York City, like so many people.
so many people. It's very like industrial looking. It's kind of raggedy when you're
Yeah,
getting off the
really.
airport and the train. Like, it's not what you pictured when you were like, okay, it's right next to Amalfi. It's right next to Pompeii. No, this is Naples, guys. This is completely different. If you go there, have expectations that you need to get out of the city center because, like you said, it's a
For
jungle.
sure. It's
Anyway.
a jungle. Super, super dirty, actually. I wasn't.
Horribly dirty.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be like that. There's a lot of trash on the grounds, a lot of people laying down on the streets.
Yikes.
It was not what I expected at all, but still nice in its own way. We ended up going to Pompeii,
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
down there, so that was probably top 5 piece of our trip, going and seeing Pompeii.
You
Get some
mentioned
blood
Como.
orange.
Sorry, Quigs, go ahead.
You drink some blood orange juice and try the lemons with how big they are down there.
We did not. See, that's another thing. We didn't know any of the stuff that we needed to do when we went down there. We went down there like completely on a limb.
Well,
Okay.
still better than not going.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is.
We checked it off the list.
You went to Como. Did you check out like Nano as well?
No. We went to a nameless festival up there, so it was like a huge concert that they had for
Yeah.
3 days. So we were really only doing that. We went around Como a little bit, but we were just at the festival basically all 3 days that it was going on.
You guys go to the middle where all the Revenge of the Sith scenes were taken of Como?
I think so, yeah. We walked around the city quite a bit.
Got to. History.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had a good question for you. Oh, it wasn't a question. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we talk about at Exported Athletes, and we encourage new guys who are going over there, is to document a little bit of your journey and start posting a little bit of content. And you're going to want it for later. I know that I certainly regret not continuing to, the day-to-day life stuff is awesome. I'm going to have you tell everybody your social media here in a second. But that's just something we encourage. You're going to want it later. It's good to document, and who knows that, something might take off for you and give you an opportunity after you're done playing. But Cam, go ahead and shout out your TikTok because I've really enjoyed watching it. Really good stuff.
It's just, my TikTok's just Cam Grod, CAMGROD, and that's exactly my reason behind that. Just to keep everything documented so I have it for later.
Yeah, it's good stuff, dude. I really like it. Other than Como and Naples, did you go outside of Italy, or did you stay local there?
So we traveled around the country. We tried to hit all the big cities, and then this past week, actually, right before I came home, me and Carter went down to Malta, the country right below Sicily. Incredible beaches. Like the nightlife is really good down there. But that was the only time we left the country, just this past week. Super nice.
With when coming over to Europe, I don't know how many other teams did you talk to beforehand? Was there a list, or was it mostly just like Ancona and you kind of knew that was where you were?
So right after my college season, I talked to some teams in Germany. But I really didn't think I was going to come over to Europe and play. So after the year off, kind of going through like the NFL stuff and the UFL thing, like I said, the only team that reached back out to me was Ancona. So that was really the only destination that I had to go to.
How big of a draw was the fact that it was Italy to come back?
That was a huge piece for me too. My family, like my dad's side, have like my grandma was 100% Italian, and we'd had talks about going to Italy before even knowing they had football out there. So once you piece the Italian part as well as the football piece together, it was a really good opportunity for me to come see Italy and then keep playing.
Destiny type thing.
Did you know, or do you know currently, if they still do, or if not, why they don't anymore have their Italian Bowl in Toledo, Ohio anymore? Did they talk about that at all over there?
I think they just switch it. Like every year, they'll do a year in Italy and then a year in the States. I've heard that they might do another one in Ohio next year at a different venue, but I'm not 100% sure on that either.
Is there a reason why they pick Ohio? Anybody?
I think they have
something
a streaming service.
Something to do with from what I heard, someone involved in the Italian league has some connection to Toledo in some regard. But that would be sick for you, huh, Cam? Imagine if you go back, get to play in Ohio, dude. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, I was telling some guys in our organization like at the top of it. I'm like, dude, I'll get like 300 people to come to that game, maybe.
Pay for half the flights.
Really cool.
Yeah, that'd be a really good opportunity.
So we're talking about your experience and just the thing of, just your whole experience off the field over there. How was your and Kona's a very well-established program. For anybody who doesn't know, the club has been to the national championship. They have really good imports, local guys that continuously come back. Cam mentioned that before. How did they do with housing and the amenities that they gave you while you were over there?
Yeah. Housing wise, we have a house for the imports called the Dolphins House. It's actually like on Google, you can search it up. But it's like in Italy, you don't see a lot of houses. A lot of the even like families over there have apartments and like buildings and stuff. So we had a house, really nice, spacious. Like everybody had their own room. So it was, I mean, living situation. I couldn't complain at all for that. It kind of just felt like you were at a frat house in college. Kind of the Italian guys always were coming over and hanging out, so it was really good atmosphere in the house. And then, I mean, at one point in time, I think we had 3 of us living there, and then towards the end of the season, it was just 2 of us. And then it was the housing was great. Um, we got free transportation over there, so we had like a pass for the buses. We could go on the buses whenever, but we really didn't have to utilize that too much. A lot of the guys on the team would give us rides to practice or the gym. So, I mean, it was a pretty good setup. From what I
Good.
know, we had one of the best like living situations out of any of the guys in Italy, because you talk to all the imports after the game, kind of compare what you
Yeah,
want.
absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, as far as like the connection with the guys on the team, like I feel like we probably hung out with our teammates way more than anybody else in the league. So there's a really good like family atmosphere over there, and I think
Yeah, that's huge.
and Kona does a really good job of taking care of their imports.
So it
That's
seems.
great to hear.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say from earlier. It seems like you guys had 2 players go down for extended injuries. In most situations, or at least in some, teams might not think twice and look to replace. And it sounded like
yeah,
they harbored and took care of your guys. So that says a lot about your organization and Kana as a whole.
yeah. I mean, they are really loyal to their guys that bring over. I mean, I don't even know if it was ever even a question to like move on
Send
from
those guys
guys
home.
when they got injuries. I mean, they were every step of the way taking care of them.
And that makes you probably want to even be more loyal or work more for them.
Yeah,
I
100%.
was going to say that's probably getting reciprocated, and that's why you said you always have those guys coming back that are homegrown talents, and they're not really looking for anything else. They've got it there. So shout out Ancona, man.
Yeah,
That's good
Really
stuff
cool.
to hear. Best moment of, so we're going to move on, just kind of keep it moving. We always do this, Brad. We are already at an hour, and I'm on beat 6 of 10. Let's get into a couple of little highlights here. What was the best moment overall of your season? It doesn't have to be like a stat, the 99-yard run.
yeah.
Doesn't have to be your trip to Lake Como, but like the thing that pops out, like, man, I'm glad that I came over here specifically for this experience that I got.
um, I would say it would be something off the field for sure. I just think one of my first experiences over in Italy, we had this thing on the team called Rockamaya, and it's like this big lunch that you go to with the guys, and it starts at like 10 a.m. So we got in the cars, everybody it was probably 70 people at this lunch. We get in the cars, 10 a.m., your first stop at a gas station, and you're taking like a spritz, and it's like some Aperol beverage you're drinking, 10 a.m. I'm like, what are we doing? And it's the whole organization, the whole, like all the coaches, the GM, the president, everybody's at this lunch. And then we go another hour into the mountains, and we get there for this lunch, and this is my first experience. Like I thought we were gonna go order our own thing, have your own meal. Uh, it's like a huge like buffet style. They're bringing out plates. Everybody's digging into these plates. Appetizer, first course, second course, unlimited wine. They just keep bringing out stuff to the table, and just everybody's there having a good time. It was like the perfect introduction to all the guys on the team, and like everybody's singing, dancing, having a good time. I don't think we left that place till 6 p.m. We were there
Everyone's hammered.
for 6 hours. 6 hours doing this whole like ordeal, and it was a perfect introduction to Italy and the guys and just how the whole year was going to be played out. Like a huge
That's awesome.
family dynamic. It was awesome, yeah.
I kind of want to hear from Brad definitely on this, Quigley as well. But when I got to Calanda, I won't speak on Marseilles because that one was much different. It was like a talent show. I want Zanka to come on here and tell that story if he chooses to. But in Calanda, my first experience kind of like that with the team. We did like a scavenger hunt where we had to go all throughout core and find certain different things and take pictures with certain things. And it was really just nice being around the team. Before I ever really hopped on a field, I was knowing them as people rather than as my running back, offensive lineman. So I think that's really good stuff. Brad, did you have one in your decade of experience that you were like, this was an awesome intro to the squad?
I think my number one was when my first year in Ostrava or second year. One of the years, it was like I knew some of the guys, but it was, hey, we're picking you up and you're coming to this team-owned like restaurant. We're just going to have a bash and you're going to drink Slivovitz and really just get after it. And that's like moonshine, like Czech moonshine, where you just forget your name after like 5 minutes. And I think that was one that was the most memorable and non-memorable because of the Slivovitz, but it was like just come and ingratiate yourself in our culture and how we like to get down. There was like Czech food I've never heard of before, like the beef tartare, but like their way, and they're like showing you how to eat it, how to do all this stuff, and then you just tell stories. And we had one guy in our team who spoke no English whatsoever, but he just wanted to talk to me the whole time. And he was just this big biker badass, like 50-year-old still playing football. And he punched me in my throwing arm, and I was like, dude, don't do that again, please. But that was the one for me that will always stick out for a long time.
Yeah. Quigs?
I mean, I would say all three of my little escapades have been self-ran off the start. Just me and other imports. Hasn't really been anything too formal, but we've kind of really, like when I landed in Spain, 2 other guys got there the same day, and we were all tired from our travels, so we all went out to the bar to grab a beer, and 5 hours later, we were in the middle of the club at like 1, 2 a.m. It was a great time. Finland here, not really anything too memorable, I would say. Just got dropped off and said, figure it out. Brad picked me up. He was the first person I saw in Germany. He was my chauffeur. And then my roommate, who actually was the first guy I met in Spain, it was my teammate here in Germany, and he took me out with his girlfriend to a market here in Germany, and we kind of had a nice day trying some German food, and kind of just made our own day. Not as fun as what Cam's expelling out here. A whole free wine and 4-course meal.
It sounds very movie-esque, to be honest with you.
It was a good time.
Did you document that one?
Yeah, I think I did. I think it was on TikTok.
Okay, I need to go check that one out. I must have missed that one. I feel
it
like
would have been one of the first videos when I actually got to Italy. I think it was like 2 weeks after I got there, and it was definitely a culture blast.
A good one.
Sounds way too awesome.
If I'm coming back, to Ancona next year, it's definitely one of the top things on my list that I'm looking forward to because they do it yearly. All the imports that have been to Ancona have experienced that Rockamaya event.
Sounds like the start of a winning formula. Just have a lot of fun with the boys.
It's a good recruiting pitch because you don't even know about it, but if they started throwing that out there,
I'm wearing the Dolphins hat already.
It'd probably sell a little bit better.
More bites.
Let's go.
I'll sign right now.
I'm ready.
Twist my arm.
Food's the way to my heart. So
Cam, we're getting towards.
Said food's the way to my heart. So that opening shot there, just 4 meals and get after you. I mean,
Italian pasta, pizza.
Food in Italy is top tier, man.
There's really nothing that beats it. It's so simple, yet so good.
Yeah, I expected it to be really good, and then it just exceeded my expectations for sure.
Yeah, because I'm a big condiment guy back.
Go ahead,
man. I will say no ranch. No ranch is
crazy. Yeah,
it's hard to live without.
Especially with how good their like bread on a pizza is, it'd be so much better with the ranch. It's already like a 10 out of 10, but that ranch would take it up a whole nother level.
I agree. Yeah, and that's like a sin to say over there in Italy. If you try to play with the food at all, they're like, no,
get out of here.
cut your spaghetti. Don't eat your pizza with your hands, like all that kind of stuff. The
Don't
stuff that
put
I've gotten
chicken
dirty
in-
look.
This was the thing that I got hounded for. Don't put chicken in your pasta. I would cook.
Yeah.
I would cook and put like a really famous dish over there is like cacio e pepe, like a pasta. So I'd cook chicken and throw it in there. Man, the guys on the team used to be like, "What are you doing?
Don't do it.
You can't do that." And yeah, I
Just
didn't.
like can't have a cappuccino past noon, and
Yes, that is a huge thing.
they're very particular, but we love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting towards the end. We're here at hour and 3 minutes. Cam, it's been great talking to you, man. We are going to ask some general questions that we ask all imports that come on here. Just, this is your first year. Answer the best you can.
Yep.
As a first-year player, you just played your first year, and you loved it so much you're already talking to the same team that you just played for, so you must have really had a good time. If you're talking to a guy who was just in your position a year ago, the same one that you were in, what should they know before signing that first overseas contract? Something that's just stood out to you. Man, you got to know what's going on before you go.
Yeah. Knowing what I know, definitely just take a deep dive into the players that played at that same location before you. Try to get their experience, their firsthand experience passed off to you before you sign a contract. Because I've heard stories from guys that are just not really having a good time where they're at. And I think that could kill your whole experience, your whole first experience. And I think really getting a good first experience will keep you wanting to come back over and stay in Europe and keep playing. For me, I got lucky and got into a really good organization off the bat. So that's one of the biggest things that I would tell somebody coming over is just really take a look around the organization that you're going to go play for before you sign a contract and kind of set yourself up to have a really good first experience.
Did you talk to anybody before you went in particular?
Yeah, player wise, I talked to the import that was in Ancona last year, Tyler Terark from I think he played at North Dakota State, and everything that he told me was just positive stuff. Like he loved his experience, and I was thinking before, I'm like, this is all too good to be true. Like, there's no way it's this awesome over in Ancona, but it was, and I think you can't say enough about what they do over there for their imports. They just make you feel like very welcome right off the bat, and they take care of you the whole time you're over there.
Sounds like a team culture thing, and that's something that
Yeah.
we've talked about with every single guy that we've had on. That was Brad, that was Mateo, and now you. And I'm sure Quigley would say the same. We lost him for the Mateo one. But the team culture is going to dictate essentially everything. If you have a team culture and you go 3-9, it's going to beat the hell out of going 12-0 on being by yourself the entire time and having no friends. I think Brad said having no friends would be the absolute worst and was the worst in one of your spots. So do your research, gentlemen, and then those firsthand experiences are invaluable.
Yeah.
Second question, if you could address all of Europe and all of Italy, and you could talk to all teams and be like, hey, this is something that I saw that was really good and we need to do more of, what would that be?
Really good. I think, one of the biggest things is the practice and how that's set up. I think it's so important to get like guys, because that's a tough thing sometimes in Italy if you have guys coming from different locations to play with your organization. Getting at least 2 to 3 good practices a week with the whole team, game planning wise, is really essential. I think a lot of the teams take like a different approach and maybe they'll only practice 2 days a week because they know they can get all the guys on the team at those 2 practices. But I think a really important piece is getting at least 3 high intensity practices a week together to really set you up well for the game that's coming that Saturday or Sunday. And I think, you can tell the difference between the teams in Italy's league that practice 2 and then 3 days a week. Like the top teams in the league are practicing those 3 days a week, and you get the most out of your players, I think, with that dynamic.
When you have the 3, did you find it Monday I had, Tim, Tom, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
and a couple of other guys over here. And then the next time I had a different 3 guys and do you guys kind of run through the same things each practice, or is it kind of in college where, okay, Monday, Tuesday, we're scouting, Wednesday, we're good on good, Thursday, we're walkthrough? Was that kind of the structure, or was it same practice, same practice, same practice to let everybody know they're on the same page? What was the dynamic there?
So we definitely had, I think Mondays were probably our hardest days of practice, like as far as getting guys there.
Okay.
Ancona has a really good team dynamic of a lot of the guys are from Ancona. So we had the same core group of guys every day of practice, like usually didn't miss. So Mondays we would go through, I think every practice we had some situational stuff that we would do. So Mondays would be a different situational approach to practice. So we would go through like, I don't know if it was like P and 10 and we were doing like trying to get first downs from the offense. We did a lot of team stuff. And then Wednesday we had this thing we called 50 and 24 where we would try to get 50 plays in 24 minutes. So it's really up tempo, running. I mean, super good for the conditioning piece, getting you ready for the game. And then Fridays be a lot of team stuff. We'd go goal line, we would get 2-minute drill, stuff like that, getting you ready for the game. And Friday practices were always loaded. Like we had all of our guys there Fridays, and we always would have a really, really good practice. So I think trying to get that Friday feeling on Wednesday and Monday could really change over a team, no matter where you're at.
It's funny you brought up that conditioning piece. I run a camp coaching. It's called Coach Tree here in the States, and we work with high schools quite a bit, and I do personal training and stuff, and I get to talk to a lot of people who are in charge of training for certain teams, and they seem to be moving conditioning from like the
Running sprints.
the 300, like the 300s down and back,
Yeah.
like long-winded conditioning, and they're moving more to short burst.
Yep.
And I think the 50 and 24 is a great way to do that as far as simulating what football conditioning actually needs to be. I'm not running cross country. We're all short bursts.
Well, unless you're Cam getting 99-yard touchdowns, he might benefit for something like that, Not
Correct.
all of us. I ain't getting that far, so I don't need that.
Yeah.
Brad doesn't know what 99 yards looks like.
I could throw it about 50 and let Gabe go the other 50, but I ain't running that, no.
Share the wealth.
Sounds like a plan to me.
My next question was, where does Cam go from here? Are we back to Italy, different league? And it seems like Gabe already beat me to the punch. Best of luck in that conversation, man. I'm glad you loved it. I really hope it does work out for you. Keep us posted. Anything we can do to help,
Yes, sir.
let us know.
Yep.
What we do know is next for Cam, everybody, and I want you to tell everybody what's going on. We're going to clip this for you and help advertise it a little bit for you. You've got 2 camps coming up this week. Am I correct?
Yep.
So that first one on July 15th, go ahead and talk about that one first.
So July 15th is kind of an annual thing that I've been doing at my high school since I've been in college. My head coach was still at my high school whenever I was in college, and he kind of wanted me to come back and do a camp, try to get some kids to come out early. And he was honestly doing the kids camp but while I was in high school. So I really took a liking to getting in those camps and working with the kids and trying to just get them interested in football. So once I got to college, he kind of wanted to bring me back and make it my own thing. And so I started doing that. And then this year, I texted the head coach now at my high school and asked him if I could get that going again. And I mean, he was all for it. So kind of planned out when I was coming back to the States and when it would be a good time to have the camp. So the 15th, actually this Wednesday, we are doing that same thing, like a skills camp at my high school from 10 to 12. So we're going to be at the school, grades 3 through 8th grade. And we're going to have, it's free this year too, as well for the campers. So anybody that comes, free admission. And we're really just going to we want to get a lot of kids out there and have a really good time.
Free camp with the defensive player of the year in Italy, the most valuable import in Italy. Everyone go check him out. You also have one on July 19th, and that's with a guy named Drakeem.
Yep.
So talk to us about that one. That one seems a little bit... Yeah, talk to me about that. Same age group, but what's going on differently there?
So a guy in my area that's starting up his own like training company. His name's Nigel Spann. He's he reached out to me after I put out my flyer for the camp that I'm doing at my high school and asked me if I would get involved with the one that he's putting on. So I think he's having his camp, and the other guy, Drakeem, he's committed to James Madison from a school nearby me in my hometown, and so we're gonna get together and kind of collaborate on this next camp. And I think he's still working out some of the details of where that's gonna be held, but it's gonna be I think a little bit more of a formal thing. Like, I think there's an entrance fee for that camp, so that one's not going to be free, but I think it's still going to be a really good camp, and hopefully we can get a lot of kids to come out to that one too.
And this is on July 26th?
Yeah, so it'll be not this weekend coming up, but next weekend.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, July 26th, grades 3 through 8th. It's only $40
Yep.
to go work with somebody who's committed to James Madison and a guy who's playing professional ball overseas. Go give that a look. Definitely worth your time. Working with people who are in the sport currently, I feel like pays dividends versus no offense to the 50 and 60-year-old guys who have been doing it for a long time, but it's definitely a different feel of somebody who just stopped playing and is, planning on going back. So everyone go check out Cam's Camps.
Nice.
That's actually a great name. Cam's Camps.
Yeah.
Where are these at again? You've got one at Southern Local High School is yours, and your other one is
might also be a Southern Local High School, but
David Anderson.
There's two spots that it might be at. It's either going to be at David Anderson High School, which is 15 minutes away from Southern Local High School, so around the same area.
Okay. Quiggs, Brad, do you have anything for the good of the cause?
I think we hit on most of the stuff I wanted to. I think it's just kudos to you, man, for doing DB, receiver, and then quarterback. I mean, as a quarterback, I know how hard that can be sometimes. And a first-year guy over here, and I mean, I've been over here for a long, long time, so I'm used to a lot of the stuff over here. But going from DB and receiver to playing quarterback that you've never played before, I mean, that part to me is the most impressive, because you get guys that have done it at some point in their life, but you haven't done it at all. Excuse me, that's just kudos to you. And I mean, Ancona's lucky to have you, and especially coming back. I mean, that I can see why they're like, hey, almost blank check here. Just get back over here, So it was great talking to you. Great to hear your story, and definitely looking forward to next season with God only knows what else you're going to put up on the board.
Yeah. Quiggs?
Yep. So it seems like you're already off to a great start to your career, 23. Very excited to see what next year holds for you. It's always fun building something, and it's cool that you have a good bedrock platform set this year in Ancona, and I'm hoping that you guys can build to new heights next year. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a lot of fun talking with you guys.
I was excited to get you on here. You were one of my top picks when we said that we were going to start a talk show. I was like, let's get the best guy in Italy on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this and you've been thinking about going overseas, especially if you thought that, the UFL or the NFL would have been the end and not making that, you can go overseas. Cam Grodhaus is proof of that. That's not the end of the conversation. If we don't make it over here in the States, go be a most valuable player over in Europe. Get to live in Italy and do all the things. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Grodhaus, EA's most valuable import of the year, the IFL's defensive player in the year, and he's already given back. He's got 2 camps already, and he just touched down back in the States. This guy loves football, and we love guys who love football. Follow us on at Export Athletes on Instagram, or check us out at exportathletes.com, or check out Cam Grod on TikTok. Check out his story and how he documented his entire season over there. I think that's all I got. Cam, I appreciate the hell out of you. Brad, Quiggs, I appreciate you guys being on. Another good episode, fellas. Cam, you're the man.